2023 here with the live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I got the wrong graphic up there. That just tells you where we are.
Monday.
It's Monday. Yep, I got. Oh man, I didn't even load up the graphics for today, so I'll have to do that while we're talking here. We got plenty to talk about anyway. We got NFL, MLB, and college football all to talk about this morning. Chris, NFL, who was your best team?
Oh man, there are so many. But I think for week 2, it had to have been the Buffalo Bills bouncing back
Overall in the season. Oh, so the
Oh,
team.
overall in the
the team
season?
for the week was the Buffalo Bills, though.
Yeah, the team for the week for me was the Buffalo Bills. Just showing that when you don't go against a team like the Josh Allen's had fits against, for God, the whole time he's been in the NFL almost, can have a solid bounce back. But the team for the whole season so far, um, for me personally, I've got to think that it's the Miami Dolphins. I've liked that offense. Yesterday it just goes to show you this Dolphins team can win in a bunch of different ways. They can win a shootout, and then when the defense has to step up, they can win it again. I mean, honorable mention for me the Dallas Cowboys as well, for looking good through 2 games. But I think for me it's the Miami Dolphins.
How about the 49ers?
Yeah, the 49ers are up there too. Yeah, they had a solid performance in week 1. And then and also winning both games on the road too. That's a fair point as well. So yeah, I can see the 49ers there as well.
Well, Jay, I know you're all in on the Cowboys. We had this talk yesterday, so we kind of know. But any changes after last night's game? Thought the Dolphins were pretty dominant in that one. I don't know. I mean, part of it is Mac Jones. Part of it is the Dolphins. I mean, that interception that Howard got on him, deep in Dolphins territory, that's just about as sorry ass as you could get for a starting NFL QB. And I think Mac Jones, I think that it's a team sport. You win as a team and lose as a team. But as I always say, man, there's some players in this locker room that need some serious soul searching. And we're not going to mention any names because they know who they are. And I think it's Mac Jones, personally.
Yeah.
He sucks.
The 2 teams, of course, I'm going to go there. My Dallas Cowboys, another dominating performance. Defense looks like the best in the NFL, creating turnovers, pressuring the quarterback. I will say it was Daniel Jones and Zach Wilson. We'll see when the season progresses. But another thing I'll say is a lot of the NFC quarterbacks are not in that older mold of guys that were formerly in there. It's a lot of younger guys. So we might be able to see that defense create a lot of havoc this year. Another team, they're 2-0. We kind of hinted at it last night, the Commanders. I thought that was a pretty good win for them yesterday. On the road, another, scrappy win. It wasn't ugly like Commanders wins never are, but they were able to stop Russell Wilson from the 2-point conversion late to get that win. So I thought the Commanders moving to 2-0 was also something pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to stick with my same 3 that I said last night. The Dolphins, the 49ers, and the Cowboys, all pretty even. It's tough to tell after just 2 weeks. The 49ers have done it. The 49ers and Dolphins played both their games on the road. The Cowboys won on the road, but at night, and then, at home against the Jets. So tough to tell after week 2. A lot of injuries. Of course, the Dolphins, Phillips didn't play last night, their top pass rusher. They still managed to get all kinds of pressure on Mac Jones in that game. And I think the Dolphins, the worst position is kicker. And I've said this guy sucks for a long time. It's like you got to be able to kick 50-yarders like regularity now in the NFL. And this guy just can't do it. I mean, he just cannot do it. So we'll have to see how big of a problem that becomes for the Dolphins as things go forward. Jimmy Johnson always gave equal weighting, offense, defense, and special teams. And special teams will win games for you, it'll lose games for you. And Dolphins certainly have to watch out for that. I think the high number of Australian punters in college football certainly shows you that
I
teams
saw
will go
that
to
too.
any lengths.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It was like what, 63
Yeah,
schools
the
that have,
Hurricanes have had an Australian punter for a long time now. This is their second. You know, they had a guy that played there for 5 years. He got the extra year because of the pandemic, and he played 5 years at Miami as the punter, an Australian one, and now they have another one. The
How
pipeline
about the
certainly opened a lot of.
31-year-old at Colorado State with the 3 kids?
Yeah, I mean, well, this is how they are because they have all that kind of eligibility. I think the beauty is of these, you know, these punters, especially, is they can kick with either leg, and I think that's a big advantage. You know, it's like that you can go right, or you can rotate right or left against the pass rush or against the punt rush and get it off with either leg, and that's something that we've never really seen before in football, and certainly evolution of the game. I think that when we look at some of the worst teams, and I think D'Amico Ryans probably has good days ahead, but I don't think the Texans are going to win a game all season. I mean, they look absolutely hideous. The Texans, I believe that they were so bad going in after, bashing Anthony Richardson for 6 months plus. I had the Colts as my top play of the day yesterday. That's how bad the Texans are, and they are that bad. Don't even kid yourself. Don't even say, well, they could. No, they are that bad. They are terrible. They might not win a game all season. I believe they're not going to win a game all season. I don't see it. Chris, anyone worse than the Texans out there for you?
Yeah.
Jay hates himself some Cardinals, so the Cowboys play the Cardinals this week, so he'll be propping them up, that they're actually, they're not that bad, but it's like,
no,
they're
no.
that bad.
Not that bad.
They're not that bad, man. What's the line? 32.5?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? The team that if I have to give them a run for their money, and we'll talk about it a little bit, it's probably going to be the Carolina Panthers. I want nothing to do with this Carolina Panthers team. I was going to say, could you put a bet that there could be 3 winless teams in the NFL this season, but I don't know if they play each other. The Panthers, the Cardinals, and the Texans. I mean, man, it's been so bad for them through 2 games, or well, at least through 1 game for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's
I think a few honorable mentions are the Bears and the Bears and there was another one. The Broncos. I mean,
at least the Broncos put up 33.
But to lose that game in that fashion, like,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
At home, up big. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd be hating on Russell Wilson. I've been hating on him for 2 years now. So
I just don't know why I don't know why the Bears keep getting all this hype coming into the season, and then it's that 4-letter word that Mitch always talks about that everybody suffers from. Hope.
Interesting weekend in the NFL, though. I don't think there was any game this weekend that was just off the page surprising. Was there any for you guys?
That was just like a surprising game one way or the other. I think that for me, I thought that I don't know if there was the game was overly surprising, but I think the Rams played pretty damn well against the 49ers, fighting in there. I know it was, a 7-point game and all that other stuff, but really a 10-point game. But I thought that with what they have to work with and what the expectations were and playing who they were playing, I thought they played pretty well. I think that they overused Nakua, and I think that, he looks like a good young receiver, another Cooper Kupp, right? But he, you just can't give him the ball that much against that defense. And you saw he couldn't move. After the game, he was just basically stuck there on the sidelines. He was walking just gingerly as it just looked like it hurt for him to walk. I thought the Rams were pretty, have been somewhat surprising, 1-1. There's a lot of 1-1 teams out there, and I think the most overrated team, clearly once again, the Denver Broncos. People think you signed Sean Payton, and all of a sudden Jerry Jeudy's going to be the offensive MVP of the AFC. No, he's not. I read that. That was one of our competitors put it out there. I forget even the name of the schmuck that put it out there, but it was we don't use that one too often. But we're gonna dig there.
We're going there. Has to be up there.
Yeah, it's up there. something Line Sports, on Twitter. One of those guys that has like 100,000 followers on Twitter. They're probably all fake, but yeah, he's
They
like
do.
Jerry Judy's a great value here for offensive MVP. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'll book it, man. Burning money. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. This guy's so fragile. I think that he's one of the more disappointing players to come out of the draft in quite some time. I really thought he was going to be one of the best players to hit the NFL, but I got news for you. He's not even a top 15 wide receiver in this league. I could name 15 wide receivers or more that I'd rather have than Jerry Jeudy, and 8 of them are from Ohio State. It's like,
Chris, what's yours?
There's a couple I could choose from. I think the surprising result was the fact that the Giants came back against the Cardinals and the fact that they dug themselves into that position in the first place. I did not think it was going to be that bad. The one that impressed me the most, though, was Tampa Bay. I know you guys talked about Baker Mayfield earlier. Had no idea, and I get it. Maybe it's level of competition through 2 games. That's understandable, but start 2-0 with Baker Mayfield as your starting quarterback. I'm stunned, but hey, good on him.
My 2, I'm gonna say Tennessee, playing the Tennessee type football game, getting it done against a Chargers team that many people think was going to take another step this year, and you see them now at 0-2, and then Cincinnati being 0-2 at this point of the season, kind of like last year, not a great start. We'll see if they can catch fire with the season. Moving along. But in their division, it's really tough, man. It's really tough because I expect the Browns to be better. I expect Pittsburgh to be better. And then we know how the Ravens are at 2-0, so interesting to watch there. It's early.
My thing is about that, though? My thing is about that? People are already – I've read a couple things already that are writing off the Bengals. Oh, you know how hard it is to start 0-2 – and make the playoffs like
that's
11%
that's old
chance.
In the old NFL. That was really hard.
I know. That's
not in the 17-game schedule and the expanded playoffs and all these other things. Plus, that division, they're going to beat the crap out of each. I mean, what are the odds of like the Ravens staying this healthy? Another team that we have to be super impressed with, right?
Odell got
Another
hurt
team
yesterday. Odell got hurt, rolled his ankle yesterday. So
yeah, I mean, it's we know. The Ravens' defense is going to be there, but the offense, generally, these guys are just the walking wounded every single year. The Bengals, they've been there, done that. I expect them to rally the troops. I mean, and Jamar Chase and Higgins, two more receivers I'd rather have than Jerry Jeudy. And we're going to just continue to say that about every receiver when we mention them, about how good they are. And we'll just say, a receiver I'd rather have than Jerry Jeudy. There's Waddle. I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. Tyreek Hill. I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. CeeDee Lamb. I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. Chris Olave. I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. Michael Thomas. I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. Garrett Wilson. I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy.
That was the one thing about the Jets I was saying. It's like, damn, Garrett Wilson's good.
Oh, this guy's unbelievable. We've made him our Jets thumbnail guy. Like, he's our Jets thumbnail guy. It's like, we pick like a player from every team to put as thumbnail guy. So like, certain teams are easier than others. So like, we have, for the Commanders, we have Chase Young, as our thumbnail guy. And, Aaron Rodgers is going to be our Jets thumbnail guy, but we changed it, because he's injured. We move it out, and Garrett Wilson's our Jets thumbnail guy. It's like, that's how good he is. And I'd way rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. Devontae Adams, we saw his touchdown in the highlight for the Raiders in that game. I'd way rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. Stephon Diggs, I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. I think there are 30 receivers better than Jerry Jeudy right now.
That's kind of crazy, Mitch, but it's not. It's crazy when you say it out loud, but when you get to going down the list.
How about tonight in Pittsburgh, the receiver, the guy that I liked? Pickens. I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every team has a guy. I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. Almost
Amari
every
Cooper.
single team. I'll tell you what, that Nico Collins on the Texans, I think I'd rather have him than Jerry Jeudy. It's like, Jerry Jeudy sucks, man. You suck. I understand you can make 10 moves in a 6-inch space, but I got news for you. By the time you make those 10 moves, there's 14 guys around you because Deebo Samuel, another guy I'd rather have than Jerry Jeudy, is dancing through guys and hitting the end zone. I'd way rather have Deebo Samuel than Jerry Jeudy.
St. Brown for the Lions.
Way rather have him than Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy sucks, man.
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley, close because he missed that time, but Jerry Jeudy misses plenty of time too. I think they could easily substitute for one another. At this point, I think it's a toss up, but but it's like I think we could pretty much go down the list of every NFL team and find almost every single team has a guy like Watson on the Packers who I'd way rather have than Jerry Jeudy. And the thing is, we can keep going. We can go down almost every single team. How about Brown on the Eagles? Would you rather have him or Jerry Jeudy?
I'd rather have Brown and Devontae Smith over Jerry.
Both of them over Jerry Jeudy. I think there might be 40 guys I'd rather have than Jerry Jeudy.
I see you're 40 and I raise you 50.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really beaten on Jerry Jeudy too much on this show, but I gotta say, this guy's a real shitbag. You want to talk about a flop? We talk about flops and busts all the time, and we kind of let Jerry Jeudy fly under the radar. But now that the Broncos are like 2-47 in games that he started, I think we could probably start to point some fingers and some accountability that he's a guy that's supposed to be able to help them out. Like Devontae Adams played in a blowout yesterday. He still looked great in the process.
Or how about old man Mike Evans having a great game yesterday?
I'd way rather have him than Jerry Jeudy or any of the 3 Chargers wide receivers.
Johnson, Flowers,
Keenan Zay Allen. Flowers on the Ravens. I'd way rather have him than Jerry Jeudy.
Oh man, this is
right.
Weird.
Oh, Mims, dude, Denzel Mims over Jerry Jeudy. That might be where we kind of draw the line. Chris, Denzel Mims or Jerry Jeudy, or are they one and the same?
Denzel Mims.
I mean, he's not even a top 5 receiver in his division.
Why do I just see Denzel Mims watching this show and you just saying that's where we draw the line? And he's just like, oh, come on.
Mills said Travis Hunter right now or Jerry Jeudy.
Well, Jerry Jeudy because Travis Hunter's out for 3 games or something. So for now, but I mean, Jerry Jeudy, please, man. This guy could be the most overrated guy in quite some time. And I was part of it. I thought when he was coming out of college that he was the guy. This is the problem with Alabama players. This is the problem, man, is that they're coached so well at the college level, they peak out, and we see it with Alabama quarterbacks, we see it with Alabama, almost every position. There are certain guys that are just awesome. I mean, they're just going to be great and they just excel and they're, that's who they are. But there are also some players at Alabama, like the offensive tackle that got bounced around. He was on the Raiders, right? And then he went somewhere else. They cut him there too, 1st-round pick. I mean, you see these guys all the time at Alabama fizzle out. And maybe because a lot of Alabama players get drafted too. But, when we look at Alabama players and the number drafted over the last 25 years, and we look at those compared to the Ohio State, Miami, and some of the other schools that have had a lot of players drafted, LSU, I think the Alabama players at the next level probably fall a little bit short of some of those other schools. And I think Jerry Jeudy's just a prime example of that.
Yep.
I'd way rather have so many guys than Jerry Jeudy. It's like, how about that Nakua from the Rams? Would you rather have him or Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, he's been balling. I lost in one of my fantasy leagues because somebody had him. Went off.
To me, that Deebo Samuel touchdown was like the most ridiculous thing I've seen. What do you even do? What do you even do in that situation? And how about Mahomes coming right back to Tony? yesterday, and him playing actually really well and catching those passes, and it's kind of like you say, you know what? Everyone has a day like that. I'll cost us games. He'll cost us games, whatever. But you know what? He's gonna win some for us too. And I thought Tony made some key catches in a tight game. Jaguars team, I thought the most questionable call of the day. Well, the two most questionable calls obviously was McVay kicking the field goal, which really made the whole league look like a fix. And then, because there was no other reason. It's not like he didn't know, I didn't know that was the point spread. Everybody knows the point spread. It even says it on the scoreboards. It says it on ESPN. It says it on everything, what the point spread is. So he knew exactly what the point spread was. And the other questionable call was, how about this, Chris? Did you see this one? The Jags Chiefs, they're on about the 45, 50-yard line right before the half. The Jags are up 3-0. They go for it on 4th and 5. Chris Jones sacks Trevor Lawrence. They give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes with 2 minutes left to go in the half. Good luck with that, fellas. It's like, he's in the end zone. It's like, it just looked like practice for him. It's like, you want to talk about like giving the guy that does that the most opportunity at that time. All right, well, we'll get off the NFL. We got plenty of NFL. We'll talk tomorrow NFL, every day NFL. We got Major League Baseball. The Chicago Cubs, man. The Diamondbacks beating them in the Serpiente jerseys again. They have beaten. I said this on a couple weeks ago. I told you the Diamondbacks own the Cubs. But look at the record of these last two series. They've knocked the Cubs from number 2 in the wild card all the way out, and they took the Cubs' spot in the wild card in the process as the number 2 team, Los Serpientes, in the sand jerseys, Chris. My wife was like, what is that? She's like, who are the Snakes? Why do they keep calling them the Snakes? Los Serpientes. She's obviously not a fan of the show. Hey, Carrie, smash that like button.
Well, the more
my
you
niece
tell her
loves
to do
doing
it,
that. My niece, her and her friend, when they come visit, they love doing that. They stand in front of the green screen and say, pickdogs.com, smash that like button.
keep an eye. I like doing it too in front of my green screen. I stand here for half an hour and I just scream it. Yeah, I think they should probably wear those Serpientes jerseys in the playoffs. Should they get there? That would be a good omen for them for sure. Yeah, they looked really good against the Cubs this season. There's no taking anything away from them in that regard. When you can win games with Brandon Pfaadt and Zach Davies as your starters in a 3-game set, yeah, you're doing all right.
Los Serpientes. So who's in the wild card in the National League? Phillies,
Arizona, and then Marlins and Cubs are tied for the last spot.
Ooh, that money, Marlins. Hey, y'all better watch out. If the Marlins can get in, they're gonna come with Sandy, Luzardo, and Braxton. That's a nice little.
Garrett Stark got moved. I don't know why. He said he was supposed to start today.
Tomorrow.
Oh, he's tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah. It's moved him back one.
Yeah, okay.
Nice little rotation right there.
Well, and what about the shitstorm that is the Seattle Mariners?
Played themselves out of a playoff spot. They were leading the division.
But here's the thing about the Mariners, right? When you have a young pitching staff, and they're even younger than the Marlins, you get deep into this schedule. These guys have never pitched this many games. They've never pitched this much. So it's tough, So I give them a little bit of a pass here, but they should have been a little better than this. But I think the National League, got a dozen games left to go or something for most teams. It's going to come right down to the wire. I believe there's going to be a playoff, at least in the National League, if not in both.
Them Giants just a couple games out. What you think? 2 games back.
7 against the Dodgers coming in. So it all depends on how the Dodgers treat this. The Dodgers and the Braves. So for the Giants, 2 against the D-backs, 3
And that's
against the Padres and 7 against the Dodgers is their dozen. Their dirty dozen.
it's tight, tight, tight.
I don't know why I gave him the proctology hand, but that was I
And
did
then
this. I said they got a dozen. I did like the old.
and then the American League, it looked like it's just gonna come down to Rangers, Mariners head straight up for the wild card. It looks like it's
Yep,
gonna come.
that's 7 games that they play against each other in the last 10. I gotta say, I like the Rangers in that, but they played terrible too.
Yeah, the last
Guardians.
Guardians, they just what happened.
Yeah, it's like the Guardians, the Cardinals, like all these teams have awoken, that are out of it. I could see like the Diamondbacks playing hard down the stretch, and the Reds and the Marlins, and I mean, we know the Cubs the Cubs play the Pirates. They've won 9 of their last 10 from the Pirates, but they're also 2-8 in their last 10, and the Pirates are 5-5 in the last 10. So who the hell knows, right? I'm taking the dog,
Oh.
man.
Chris, what about them Jays with the sweep of them Red Sox? 3 straight. Back in it.
That was much needed, to say the least. I mean, now I'm just trying to pull up their last few games of the season here, but I mean, the good thing for the Chase is that right now, I mean, they're on the inside looking out, which is, I think, the most important for this Blue Jays team. And, they're going to be looking over their shoulders the rest of the way. But, they got 3 games. It's 3 games in New York. The Yankees are back to not playing some great baseball. The tough one, the tough one is we got 6 against the Rays, which is going to be tough. But if the Rays have already clinched. And if they clinched either the division or the division gets clinched by the Orioles.
Right. But the Rays had their chance. They lost those 2 games to the Orioles, but now they play the Astros for back, this week. So tough series. There's a lot going on right now. I mean, we haven't talked about college football. Chris, Tennessee ranked ahead of Florida, same record, beat them head to head in Florida. What do you think? I mean, we're not going to argue. I mean, Colorado got the win. We already talked about this yesterday, and we talked about some of this other stuff, but we'll find out. I mean, obviously Hunter's hurt, so it hurts the game, and the line's up to like 20.5 at this point.
20.5 now, yeah.
Yeah, but what about this? And I always say the polls and the rankings are just the biggest load of crap ever. Florida State barely wins. Texas plays poorly, jumps Florida State in the rankings, and then forget the win over LSU all of a sudden. But Texas did beat Alabama. It really doesn't matter because all that stuff at the top always works its way out. Alabama out of the polls because they won on the road in the rain, and they played poorly in that game. But part of college football is playing poorly and still winning. I mean, the good teams, they don't blow everybody out every game. Yesterday I talked a little bit about the Dolphins and the 17-0 year that they had. Go back and look at those games, man. They're all close. They're all close. I mean, they had beat New England 52-0, so they weren't all close. But I mean, most of the games were really, really close. 4, 6, 7 point, 3 point games, almost all of them. So it takes a lot to that's why not too many teams run the table, because there's a lot of close games, and for a lot of teams playing some of these other teams, this is their, like, for USF, who, I mean, Alabama played obviously horrible, but it's like that was their Super Bowl. And the thing is about USF too, they get a lot of players that fall through the cracks from Florida, Miami, Florida State. They get a lot of those players. So there's definitely talented players there too. But having Tennessee ranked ahead of Florida with identical records and then beating them head to head just shows you how dumb the polls are.
It's crazy.
It doesn't even make sense, because it wasn't like it was a close game or anything like that. It was like it was a slaughter. Ethel Mertz was tap dancing and singing Christmas carols all over their ass.
Mertz with that 15 on was looking real good in the swamp.
I think the top 25 polls right now are just there to drum up interest for television games. They can advertise it and stuff like that. But in reality, the first rankings that really matter come out in late October or early October, when the college football playoff rankings start. So Right now, I think it's just semantics at this point, just with the top 25
Biggest
players.
surprise. What's y'all's biggest surprise on the poll or the rankings?
Let me just open them quickly. I forgot.
I don't know, man. I don't really look at it too much. I just glossed over it, to be honest with
you. For me, I mean, I understand it, but like, I still don't think Utah's better than Alabama. Like, I don't.
Well, they're undefeated, and they're
but
conference champions and all that kind of good stuff. So they have that edge, and it's like a one-loss team. I tell you, Utah would have slaughtered USF in that game. They would have beat them by 100. So I think Alabama has some problems, and I've said this forever about college football, and people it goes in one ear and out the other. But I've said this forever that every team that's been great over the years that has gone on a run, like Alabama's been on under Saban, reloading not so easy as it sounds, and not so easy as it looks. Because when you have all of your starters leaving every single year, ever since they allowed underclassmen to be eligible for the NFL draft, it's become even tougher because you lose all your starters. So that means that your recruits, those five-star recruits, you don't have the opportunity. You can't afford a flop, right? And that's what Bama has here is they've got a few flops at quarterback, right? So it's like when these guys don't hit, and you're losing your guys every single year. Do you think Alabama would have played like that with Bryce Young in there? I mean, no way, And the thing is that, it's very, very tough to reload. That's why it's really hard to stay on top. No one has said anything that Ohio State has fallen back either. They haven't beaten Michigan in a couple of years now. So it's like, I mean, it's not just them. So we had a run at Miami, which was better than any run that any of these teams currently have had. Way better. We had 2 winning streaks. One was 39 games. The other one was 37 games. So we had 2 winning streaks that were longer than any streaks that these guys had. And at a certain point, it was just hard to just keep reloading. And then what happens is you start losing, and then the other schools become more attractive. So a lot of the top recruits that would have gone to Alabama are now going to Georgia, who's got back-to-back national titles. So I think Georgia is the team to beat. I mean, they've won back-to-back, and if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. I don't even know who's number 1 in the poll right now. But if it isn't Georgia, it's a farce.
It is Georgia.
It's got to be. I mean, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, and these guys have proved to be that. Until you beat – I always felt like when Miami wasn't ranked number 1, after winning the national title, that it was always just unbelievable that, that they weren't. And – Miami's won 2 of their titles being unranked heading into the season. I mean, I think the only team to do that. But it's like, you don't see it all that often because the rankings are so skewed. That's why next year with the 12-team playoff, and I believe it's headed to 16. It's just a matter of time. The NCAA tournament used to be like half the size that it was now. When we go to 16 teams, there's not going to be a lot of argument. The argument will be that 17th team that would have gotten slaughtered anyway, right? But it's like when we go to the 12 teams next year, it goes to 12. That's when it gets really interesting because all this rankings, all this other stuff, it really isn't going to matter.
Yeah.
All the division, I think all the conference champions all get in automatically to the playoff. So it's basically a playoff within a playoff. And then all these at-larges, in the SEC and Big 12 and Big 10 will be paying up big for those. But I'm going to guess all the major conferences get 2 at least.
You're going to put Toledo against Georgia?
Well, Toledo, I don't think those guys will get an automatic. I think those guys will get 1.
Well, I'm saying if they win the MAC or something.
No, the MAC will not have an automatic into the playoff. It'll be that okay. There'll be the group of 5.
Sorry, you were saying all the power conferences.
Yeah, the power conferences. Well, the winner of the conference championship of like the probably the AAC. So the AAC will probably get one too. The AAC, the ACC, the SEC, the Big 12, and the Big 10 will all get in. Mountain West, maybe. Maybe the Mountain West and the AAC have a playoff within a playoff to get
They're
in.
not putting the Mountain West in there. Ain't nobody good enough. They
Well,
gonna
Boise is generally good enough, and San Diego State is generally good enough. They're not having great years, but those two teams have been definitely prominent on the national scene and have beaten a lot of these other good teams. Utah State is good from time to time. You got to remember, Utah came from the Mountain West, into the Pac-12, and now they're going to wherever they're going, Big 12. But so the Mountain West has some good programs. Nevada can be decent at times. Colorado State has had some good teams under Sonny Lubick. Yeah, it's. I think I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'm sure the formula is already there. We could probably find it pretty easily. But I think with 12 teams, we're going to see that the top teams are still going to be, when it's all said and done, those top 4 teams are going to be the teams to beat. You'll see some upsets here and there. But it's going to be those top 4 are going to be just tough customers. But I think that it will open up some of these other schools, some of these players that, hey, you can still make the playoff. You can still get in, do all those things coming here instead of going there and sitting on the bench. So
I think the one thing that sticks out to me from the rankings where I just kind of shake my head at is how Michigan is still number 2.
Well,
I get it.
They've been number 2 for a long time.
No, I get it, but figuratively. But
in my book,
yeah. But I mean, you look at Georgia. They've had at least they got a decent win over South Carolina. Texas beat Alabama. Florida State beat LSU. So everybody sort of has, I don't want to say a signature win, but at least a win that stands out. Michigan, they beat East Carolina, UNLV, and Bowling Green.
But they made the playoff last year.
Yeah, I get it.
We know with Michigan, their schedule in conference should shake it out for them. Now, the thing about the Big Ten is not everybody plays everybody. So they definitely play Ohio State. But who else do they draw? Do they have Penn State?
So here's the thing. So they have Penn State and OhioTate, but not till 2 of the last 3 weeks of the season.
Well, that's fine. That doesn't matter. How about Wisconsin's terrible? Do they play?
So here's their
Iowa?
schedule. I'm looking at it right now. They got Rutgers,
Minnesota, the Jug.
Yeah, Rutgers, Nebraska, Minnesota, Indiana, Michigan State, Purdue, Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State.
Yeah, it's soft. It's a soft Big Ten schedule. The Big Ten really, Purdue looks terrible this year. Indiana's Tom Allen's team. Do they play Minnesota? I didn't hear it in there.
Yeah, they play Minnesota in a couple weeks.
Where's that at?
At Minnesota.
So I think Minnesota's going to give them a game there. I think they will. I think look for Minnesota to give them a game for the Jug. You ever hear the Little Brown Jug song?
Yeah.
It's like from 1920s or something. Ha ha ha, hee hee hee. Little Brown Jug and or something. I don't know. It's like, it's terrible. I'm excited though for it's like we're now this week we turn college football turns into those sort of games like the Miami Temple game, clearly the showcase game of the week, and then everything else kind of falls into place.
Definitely. I can't wait for a Temple in Miami.
Yep. That's the game. 3:30 Eastern time. ESPN 2. It's the game that everyone's been waiting for. We're on the road at Temple. We're wearing those white uniforms. Hopefully. I hate the stormtrooper look for the Canes when they go white on white. I like the orange pants, white jersey. And the green pants, white jersey. I don't like that.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah, the stormtrooper white on white.
Yeah.
It's like that's what they call it. They call it the stormtrooper because the white helmets, white everything. It's the stormtrooper look. That is what they call the jerseys. Anyways, we got football tonight. I know some people tuned in to see picks. Probably lost a couple of viewers that wanted to see picks, but so what? I like talking sports. That's why I'm here. Got the Panthers and the Saints. 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. Chris, anything going on here? You got a premium in this game?
Not this game. The other game I do.
Jay, you have a premium in this game? No premiums from any of us in this game, which makes this one wide open for us. Chris, what do you think?
All right. Well, I think the strongest play for me in this one, probably the under. I think it's still around 38.5, 39. May even gone lower than that, but I don't see any points coming to this one. I alluded to it earlier, just how poor I think this Carolina Panthers team has played and how bad they're going to be this season. And I think the New Orleans Saints defense is going to be the best unit on the field. Um, on the other side, though, we saw Derek Carr last week, still taking him time to adjust to a new system in New Orleans. And I think he'll do enough against the Panthers here, but an ugly like 17-10 or 20-13 kind of game wouldn't surprise me here. So I'm gonna go with the under between Carolina and New Orleans.
Jake?
I want to take the Panthers. I wanted to take the Panthers in this game, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on making it a premium. I do think the Saints are the better team, but I'm still not sold on the Saints now out on the road, still, implementing a new system with Derek Carr. The Panthers did not look that good last week against the Falcons, but I think that this could be another overreaction game to last week. I don't think the Panthers are nearly as bad as they looked. The Saints did get a win against a good Tennessee team, but now they're on the road against a divisional opponent. I could just see the Panthers still in this one. So that's where I'm leaning. I think Bryce Young has a better second game. I think this defense for the Panthers gives the Saints some problems. This is a team that they know quite well. I'm taking the Panthers in this one, plus a 3.
Here
I'm
with
gonna
that
take.
Panthers team.
I'm on the Saints. Who did you take, Chris?
I took the under here. Under
I'm taking
38.
the Saints. The Panthers in the betting tools, the first half is what they came out as, but I'm going to go with the Saints here. I think the Panthers, I think Jerry Jeudy probably could find a home there and probably could see significant playing time. I don't think with the Saints that Jerry Jeudy would actually see the field with Olave, Thomas, and Shaheed, all three of which I like better than Jerry Jeudy, to be honest with you. And I think Shaheed, I'd way rather have Shaheed than Jerry Jeudy. But Olave and Thomas, I mean, pretty much no-brainers there. I think Derek Carr has kind of got playing with a chip on his shoulder. Of course, Taysom Hill does it all there. I think the Saints probably headed in the right direction. I think what we see, too, is with Sean Payton on the Broncos and the way that team's performing, that this could be addition by subtraction. Without Payton there, another year, the Saints, they could be heading in the right direction. They won ugly in that first game, which prepares them pretty well for a conference game, division game. I'm gonna take the Saints in this one. I don't love it, but I do like Thomas, Shaheed, and Olave all better than I like Jerry Jeudy. That's for sure. I mean, any argument there, Chris or Jay, on the Jerry Jeudy assessment?
Shaheed might be pushing it a little bit, but the other two, I agree.
Oh, you have to look at his career stats versus Jerry
He's
Jeudy.
nice. He's nice. But I don't know. I might take Judy over him right now.
All right. Well,
It's not that bad.
We got the Browns and the Steelers. This one, another interesting one. Divisional rivalry again. And the Steelers looked terrible in week one. The Browns actually looked really good in week one. The Browns, it's Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and Donovan Peoples-Jones for those keeping score at home versus Jerry Jeudy in that one. And then for the Steelers, we have it's Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and Allen Robinson II. So I definitely like Pickens better than Jerry Jeudy. All those other ones, Jeudy might have a home with either of these teams if he needs to be. And the Browns are just the team to give him some work. Jay, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, kind of like I alluded to last game. I'm not going to overreact in week 2. I'm not. The Browns did beat up on the Bengals. I understand that. But if you know the history of Burrow and the Browns have kind of done that since Burrow has been in Cincinnati. This is another division game. We got the Steelers at home. I just can't see Mike Tomlin dropping back-to-back home games. I think that this defense shows up and gives this Browns offensive line some real trouble. I think T.J. Watt probably shows up. Minka Fitzpatrick probably has a pick six. We're in for one of those nights on a late football night in Pittsburgh. I just really got that feeling. The Browns know how to fall on their face after looking really good the week before. I like the Browns. I do. But I'm taking the Steelers here. I'm taking Mike T, the Hall of Fame head coach, to get his team to bounce back at home.
So Tay Harris in the comments, what exactly are you getting at here? I mean, what are you trying to say? I mean, I'm not sure it's sinking in. So take Tay Harris over Jerry Jeudy too. I like the under in this one. I think this is a buckle up the chin strap game. I think this is one of those division black and blue games. I think the Steelers know the importance of this game going 0-2 because this division is going to be tight at the end with the Ravens and the Bengals and the Browns. I mean, this is, you've got 4 teams that can win the division, all in the division, which means every game is really going to matter. So I expect this one to be leave it all out on the field, bloodbath. I like the under. Chris?
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers here. There's just certain things I don't do in life, and one of them is bet against Mike Tomlin as a home or division underdog. I mean, home underdog, Mike Tomlin 16-5-3 against the spread. Division underdog is hitting well over 70% too. And this just feels like a game where if the Browns win this game, it could very well be a 1-point game, like a 17-16 kind of game. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers plus the 2 here.
Pitt. I don't think they're as bad as they looked last week. I just can't. And I don't think the Browns are as good as they looked last week. I just don't. But hey, the Bengals wet the bed again yesterday. So,
can I ask you a serious question, Chris? While we're on the subject, before we change games.
Sure you can.
Nick Chubb, anytime touchdown.
I thought about it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Just throwing it out there. What are you going to do when home run props are over? Are you going to do a different video? Or are you going to start one soon?
I'm not sure.
There's some room. I see other guys on our channel doing similar stuff like this. I think that Nick is doing some kind of touchdown parlay.
Yeah.
I think that you could probably add a touchdown video as well to what you're doing with the home run props because it's all going to be over in a week. For baseball.
Yeah, and the hockey season starts.
We don't want you to get any rest or anything.
Talking about that, how about Brad going back to back on his NFL parlays, back to back weeks to start the season?
I hit my NFL big play yesterday, 2 weeks in a row on mine for that.
Yep.
But
I hit mine yesterday as well. You hit your big play?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
I had the Colts.
Chiefs for me.
And y'all know I had them boys. It was too perfect. I had to take it. Zach Wilson, that defense, come on.
I took the Colts against the Texans. That just shows you,
Come on.
I'm at. That Colts. Anthony Richardson and all. All right, let's go to the diamond. Now that we've gotten that out of the way.
The funny thing is, Jay's probably going to be like, oh, you only have 17 chances to take the Cowboys this year. You had 160 to take the Rangers. At least the Cowboys can't hurt you as much.
Ouch.
Hey,
sorry, I had to.
2-0 ATS thus far.
Still can go 2-15. That's all I'm saying.
Royals and the Guardians. The Guardians have actually played fairly decently this past week, and Quantrill's actually played pretty good in his last few starts. Singer's a guy who at home has been straight money for us. We got afternoon baseball. Got to say, I'd rather have Singer than Jerry Jeudy also, and I think that I'm going to go with the Royals in this one against the Guardians. Even though the Guardians probably are the better team, I just think Singer at home has been good to me. So we're getting a little bit of plus money. I'll take that little bit of plus money in this one. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of plus money as well. Just don't trust the Guardians right now. Don't trust them to lay juice here. And Kyle Quantrill, if anything, he's been a better pitcher at home. So Brady Singer, I keep going back to it. The Royals, more than a quarter of their wins as a team this season have come with Brady Singer on the mound as the starting pitcher, even if Singer didn't get the result in all those games. So I'll go with the better pitcher here. The Kansas City Royals at plus money as a home dog.
After I watch a team completely dismantle my team, I like betting that team the following series because I think they're just hot. And you got to be a hot team to do what you do. Did what they did to my Rangers this past weekend. I'm taking the Guardians here. It's the second half of the season. Don't blink. They could finish above 500, only 6 games back. They might get it done, and I think a series here with the Royals sets up perfectly. And we're getting the Guardians at a great price with Quantrill, like who Mitch said was pitching fairly well. I got to take the Guardians here, playing well.
They've also been they've also been at home during that run.
True. But the Royals only got 28 wins at home, so.
Well, we got the Marlins here, big favorite at home against the Mets, and the Mets pitcher here hasn't been the butt of any of our jokes. That's for sure.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think we can fall into some traps this coming down the stretch trying to bet on teams that need the wins over teams that don't?
Well, look, if you look at the National League and the American League, there's been a lot of teams bulking together losses in that run. The Rangers and the Mariners have both lost 3 in a row. The Cubs are 2-8 in their last 10 games, right out of the thing. But the team that I'm just not going to fade is Los Serpientes because I like saying it and I just like the whole concept.
Because I know NFL and NBA, you can definitely lose money trying to chase at those teams because they usually they got to play the game anyway. So expecting them to kick it up a notch usually is not a great place to be.
But it may sound cliche, but you got to pick your spots. I mean, look at what the Marlins did to the Atlanta Braves. I mean, they put 37 runs on the Braves in that 3-game series. I mean, they showed up. The Braves kind of took their foot off, or maybe fell asleep, or got caught, with their pants down a little bit, considering they just locked up the NL East. But the Marlins playing well, like you guys said. The Diamondbacks are playing well. The Blue Jays, picking up wins now. They have to. I mean, it's picking your spots. And for this spot, because I believe it's me here, I'm going to go with the Marlins here. Edward Cabrera, a much better pitcher at home this season. The Mets have been able to pick up some wins as well. What, he hasn't been?
I just like you doing that one.
Oh, okay.
Don't be a hater.
I'm not being a hater. I'm just like, did I say something wrong? I just wanted to make sure. Okay, go with the Marlins here. Cabrera's been a better pitcher at home. The Mets have been able to pick up some wins as of late, and surprisingly be a little bit of a spoiler. They're not mathematically out of it yet, but Jose Butto, just not a pitcher I'm trying to back. Give me the Marlins here.
Man, them Showalter's been playing pretty well down the stretch. We got to give them some credit for that. And they lead this series versus these same Marlins 5-2 this year. I was asking that because I want to take the Marlins here, but I don't want to force it. Now, I don't want to chase a run line. I like the money line, but is it priced up because of the situation the Marlins are in? Probably. But give me the Marlins here on the money line. That's where I'm going to lean. Not my favorite play. Cabrera has pitched better at home. And the Mets, they're the Mets, man. They have been playing well, but the money Marlins needed more. Y'all know I love me some money Marlins, so sign me up today.
How about knock yesterday, man? That was awesome.
Yeah, I told you yesterday on the halftime I was mad for not having it.
I gave that one out.
Money Marlins. Some people in the comments saying Mets upset spot today. I don't necessarily disagree. Monday, I can see it, but nah, give me the Marlins.
got invited to a meeting and I clicked the wrong button. Oh, shoot. Oh, well. Happens. Did you take again? And on this one, Reds and the Twins going on in this one. So the Reds get back home, taking on the Twins team that's now 7 games over 500. Oh, I took the Marlins in that game. The Marlins are like 11 games over 500 at home. And they're only 6 games over 500 overall. So it's kind of like they're way better at home than they are on the road. And the Mets suck. Also this. Buck Showalter.
I'm taking the Reds in this one. Still in the thick of things. I think that Connor Phillips' ERA is inflated because he hasn't pitched a lot. The 2 outings he did have were both dubs, Seattle and Detroit. And y'all know what it is. I love fading me some Minnesota Twins. So all that adds up to I'm getting the Reds team still in the thick of things at home with the pitcher who I think is decent. I'm going to take a shot here at the plus money.
I'm taking the Reds at home. Joe Ryan's been very disappointing. About as disappointing as Jerry Jeudy, if not more. So I'm actually not quite as disappointing. Well, I don't know. It all depends. He wasn't really as highly regarded. But I'm going to take the Reds. I just think at home, once again, really they've struggled. They can get to 500 at home for the season. I think they make the playoffs. Taking the red legs, Cincinnati Redlegs. I mean, they would never name a team that now. You know, that's like such a 1900s name, right?
Yeah.
The Redlegs. How about like the red stockings? The red stockings, the white stockings. It's like that's the real name. It's stupid.
We're in fine form with we're getting ready for Presbyterian already.
Those
red hose, blue hose.
1 ho, 2 ho.
Red ho, blue ho. I love that bit. That bit never gets old.
There's certain ones you got.
That's the type of school that changes their name, like the Beaches.
Because of us.
Well, the Beaches changed their name to that name for us. It's like the material. What up, Beaches?
Long Beach State, yeah.
Yep. What up,
There's
Beaches?
a few. There's South Dakota State. Mitch does his best jackrabbit. There you go. Oh man, I can't wait.
What are we gonna do for graphics in college basketball? I've been thinking about that for a while, man. I think we'll just have to have like a schedule or something. I'm not really sure how we're gonna do it. We'll figure it out. We always do.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go with the Twins as well. Or sorry, excuse me, the Reds as well over the Twins. Sorry, Bill. I'm not taking the Twins with Joe Ryan on the road. I mean, he's had struggles with the home run ball for much of the season, and now you're putting him in one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks in baseball. Yikes! I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Reds here. We're getting a better price with them here, and for my money, you know, the Twins, they're just in a better playoff position right now. The Cincinnati Reds can ill afford to take a series off or you know have a bit of a lapse, and I think the Reds show a sense of urgency here, get the job done. So give me Cincinnati, the money line.
You know, the Nationals re-upped with their general manager for 4 more years, and they have the second worst record in the National League. Them and the Cardinals are battling it out for second worst. That means they really believe in what they're doing. Meanwhile, the White Sox, these guys are laughing all the way to the bank saying, you know what? No one's won our division 2 years in a row and forever. We could win this thing next year. The Twins were terrible last year, right? So it just makes for an interesting game. I do think Clevenger has a job on the White Sox if he wants it. And I think Adon has a job with the Nationals if he wants it. I know Chris really likes him a lot. They're friends.
I got some of his
Cuddles
baseball
up
cards.
Chris cuddles up with like one of those scented Yankee candles. Listen to like some Matchbox 20, the piano version at 3 a.m. Man, I just really love Adon.
How dare you? Don't you dare associate with me with
I had
Matchbox
this.
20.
I actually borrowed this material. I was having the same discussion with Costa this morning.
I'm just saying though, don't you dare lump me with Matchbox 20. It's clearly Creed or Train.
Train. Train. I mean, it's like this is creepy, right? It's like,
Yeah,
and they have the thing is they have like 1 million #1 hits if you look at it. But
yeah, I know.
they're way creepy.
I know that your tickets to the to the Train season concert tour probably got lost in the mail, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the White Sox.
What's the one that Rod likes?
What band or song?
Yeah, the band that he likes. He went to the
Tool?
concert. They were like,
Oh, Nickelback.
Like, Nickelback. Well, Don's not going to be any rock star anytime soon. I'm going to take the White Sox here, man. I'm just going to. They're my team. It's late in the season. Why not? So this is the argument for why is the season so long?
Yeah. He's going to look at his photograph and he's going to look back on it. It's going to make him laugh. I'm going to go with the White Sox here. Not often I'll take the White Sox laying juice, especially on the road. But I just think Clevenger, the far better pitcher. Adon through 5 games, 4 starts, an 8.10 ERA at home. Yeah, not one him rushing to the window to bet, that's for sure. But I'll take the White Sox here.
Yeah, Nickelback, like one of those bands that nobody listens to, but they've sold like 100 million albums or something. Jay?
I'm taking the White Sox. Clevenger has done me well in spots this year. I don't know. I think I'm with you. I think if he wants a job in Chicago, he has it. He's been decent. I think he could be part of the future for next year. I'm gonna give him a shot here today against the Nationals team, who plays their better baseball on the road.
Next up, the Braves, who look to be tanking it all the way in. I got news for you. The Dodgers, the Braves, the Brewers, none of them are moving anywhere. That is the order of finish. It's kind of like Westminster when they say, okay, I need to see the Dotson walk around the ring. Doberman, one more time around it. And then they just go in the same order that they were in. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here in the National League. Chris, what do you think of this one? It's your game.
I got to go with the over 9 here. The Braves just saw Zach Wheeler in Wheeler's last start. Got him for 3 home runs in that game. I think 4 runs total. And the Phillies have actually been one of the better hitting lineups in baseball over the last month. I think they get to Kyle Wright here. We just saw the Braves give up, like I said, 36 or 37 runs in that series against the Miami Marlins. So a total of 9 seems far too light for me here. I'm going to go with the over 9 here.
Amigo. I'm taking Zach Wheeler and the Phillies in this one. I could see the Phillies offense doing some damage today. This is a Phillies offense that has shown up in this series in spots. It's just the Braves offense has done more damage when they have, as the Braves lead the series 7-3 this year. But I think Kyle Wright gets lit up early and often in this one. I think Bryce Young probably goes yard. I think the Phillies win this game. I think the line's
Bryce
coming.
Harper or Bryce Young? Bryce Young's
Did I
going
say
yard.
Bryce Young?
Yep.
Oh.
Bryce Young's
Harper.
going yard against the Saints. I'd way rather have Harper than Jerry Judy, man, any day of the week.
Bryce Harper, not Bryce Young.
I mean, it's amazing how many receivers that are out there that are better than Jerry Judy. I mean, it's.
Could you imagine Bryce Young hitting Kyle Wright for a home run?
I bet he could.
Entirely possible.
Most of these guys are dual sport. I mean, Kyler Murray could.
Mahomes was pretty good at baseball.
John Elway was drafted by the Yankees.
Russell Wilson.
He's probably wishing he would be playing baseball now instead of having to throw.
Hey, Dion, they asked Dion this weekend on Big Noon Sunday, what was the hardest thing he ever did in professional sports? He said, hit a baseball.
Hit a baseball. Yep. They say that's the hardest thing to do. Round bat, round ball. Very, very hard.
Yep.
It's like Bull Durham. What's the difference between 300 and 250 or two? It's like CNI single, blooper, whatever. It's like very, very little difference.
He said there's a reason why these guys only hit 1 out of 4 baseballs and still get paid millions of dollars.
Yep.
Yep.
So what'd you take? The Phillies here?
Yeah, I took the Phillies and Wheeler. I don't love it, but I did.
All right. Well, I don't think anyone's guessing who I'm taking here. I've faded Zach Wheeler in every start that he's had this season, and I'll continue to do it. I mean, he is 11-6, but I think he's lost every no decision he's been in. I'm taking the Braves. No, not because of Kyle Wright. It's a straight fade of Wheeler. It's a strategy that I've stuck with, and most of these games with Wheeler, I mean, you've seen him as a big favorite. Why is he a dog here against Kyle Wright? Has been terrible, and the Braves who have gone to bed, man. They do not care, this Braves team, unless they really want to knock the Phillies out, which probably isn't such a bad idea. Go to St. Louis, where the Cardinals playing their best baseball of the season. Adam Wainwright, he's probably got, 2 more starts left in his career? Maybe 3? Chris? Or it's Jay.
Yeah, I know where I'm at. You mean the Brew Crew? I'm gonna actually go run line. You could probably go 2.5. Probably go 2.5 first inning. Wainwright, he actually looked fairly good last game, didn't he? Yeah. It was like a damn gem, I feel like, but I ain't falling for the sauce. We know what it is. This guy is terrible. He's arguably the worst pitcher in baseball. One of my friends said that the other day. He said, Wainwright's the worst pitcher in baseball. That was a
worse than Jerry Judy?
Yeah, worse than Jerry Judy. It was against the O's. Yeah, he had a really good game, but I'm not falling for it.
Nah, I think that Puck on the Marlins is the worst pitcher. PK guy, he's the worst.
Yeah,
or Castro is second worst, and the Montero also. All 3 hideous.
Yep. I'm gonna let it run line with the Brew Crew.
All right, I'm gonna go the other way in this one. I like
Wainwright?
What's that?
You taking Wainwright?
Well, this is the thing.
Okay.
The Cardinals have been playing really well. The Brewers have been playing decently. I mean, they lost to the Nationals yesterday in Patrick Corbin. But the thing is that so Adam Wainwright is retiring this year. He's got 2, maybe 3 starts left. He has 199 career wins.
He need 1.
He needs 1. He just needs 1. I think they get it for him. I just think they do.
I can't. I can't. Let me see. Let me see if he get another start.
Jay's counting the
I
game.
think I mapped it out to where he would start 2 more times after this if he stays on the like if it just stays at the regular rotation. He would start, and then he would start once I think in San Diego, and then there's a 3-game homestand against Cincinnati to close out the year. Trust me, I've been trying to plan it out because I want to figure out when this Adam Wainwright concert is.
I'm taking the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Brewers run line here. It's a for me. I think Wainwright's
It's like good story. Good story. Yeah. I'm going with the Brewers run line. It is a great story. I'm taking it.
It is a great story. I think if Wainwright wants to go for that 200th win and get it, it just screams sentimental story if he does it at home, in the final series of the season. But here, the Brewers still trying to lock up the NL Central. Peralta's the much better pitcher here. And the one issue that Peralta was having this season was performing well on the road. He's fixed that in a lot of his recent road starts. Yeah, I just think the Brewers get it done here. I've checked out of the Cardinals already this season, so especially
they played well. I had them yesterday as a premium. They won.
No, they have played well. I'll give them that. But
they played well in Baltimore. That Rom got the one.
Yeah,
I mean, shut out the Orioles.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with the Brew Crew here, though.
King of the meaningless games. Well, the Rangers do or die for them because they've got the series coming up with the Mariners, but you got to be in top position with the Mariners having that tough series out in Oakland. The Rangers got to leave it all on the table in this one. I think they get it done. The Red Sox have just been losing on the road like no one's business. I'm going to take the Rangers in this one. Jordan Montgomery, I hate his guts. He sucks. He's terrible. They're going to put him in the "you look fat" uniforms for this one because that's what they generally do.
Are you sure you don't?
They have those ones that like make their skinny guys look fat. It's like those dark blue pants with the white shirt. It's like anyone looks fat that wears this uniform.
You sure you don't want to take Wheeler and just complete the trifecta? Montgomery, Wheeler, Wainwright.
I can't do it because I got the Red Sox have just been that bad. So I got to take the Rangers in this one. I mean, if Gausman was going, then we're starting.
If Gausman was going, the parlay would be set up for him perfectly. I mean, it's not many times you can bet that combination this season. I gotta go with the Rangers here as well. The Red Sox they just looked done after that walk-off hit from the Blue Jays yesterday. Carter Crawford's been wildly inconsistent. He has pitched better on the road, but I think he has some issues here. Montgomery, not my favorite pitcher in that Rangers rotation. Not one of my favorite pitchers in general, but I think he does enough here. I think the Rangers, the better team in the better position right now. I got to go with Texas in this one.
Rangers are 0-3 since Jay said we're back.
I know.
But we're back today, suck.
Yeah, we're back today. We're bouncing back today. Montgomery looked good in his last outing. Rangers won that game 10-0. He went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, no earned. I think he pitches well against the Red Sox, who have been struggling offensively. And I think the Rangers get back to hitting the baseball. The Guardians just came in and played well, you know. Hats off to them, but I see the Rangers offense coming back home and doing what they do best, sending balls out of the stadium here in Texas. That's what they do, and I think that's exactly what sets up here coming back home. Give me the Rangers. I would probably go run line here and probably get it at plus money.
Got a big one, the Orioles and the Astros. This is a monster series for both these teams. They're both going to be in the postseason. The Orioles have already clinched, so they're definitely in. But the Astros, they just need to have their nose poked ahead of the Mariners and the Rangers. Just when those two teams go at it for all those games, I imagine they're going to beat up on each other. I didn't realize Jalen Reagor was activated for last night's game against the Dolphins. I just didn't see him really contribute all that much for that Patriots team. Well, it's nice to know he was in the stadium. I like looking at the transactions. I'm a day late and $1 short on him, but it's always weird to see the guys that get cut like the day before the game. It's always the practice squad guys because they're like, they like need a guy to fill in a certain spot for the practice squad, for the team that they're playing. Those guys like come and go. Anyways, Jay, Astros, Orioles.
I'm taking these Stros behind Verlander. I know Means is you guys' guy. He didn't impress me that much in his first outing back.
Shania and the John Means there. You don't impress me much.
Yeah, he didn't impress me much. I know what I'm getting with Verlander today.
Shania Briggs.
Chase is like, so what? So you got a car.
It don't impress me much.
I'm taking the Stros.
Sauce calling Chris C. Boogie on the show. I'm taking the over in this one, man. These guys both suck, man. They've been terrible. Means the thing about John Means is, so when you look at his career numbers, they don't really tell the whole story because like right before he got injured, like the few months he was pitching his very best baseball of his career, and then he got injured, so we haven't really seen it. In Verlander, it's just trash. I mean, I'll trash emoji on Verlander. I like the over, and I like the over tomorrow with Hunter Brown against Gibson. I like that over a lot, man. That's as they say in the sharp trading plays, man. Get it in early, Got to get it in early. I like the over in this one, Chris.
I'm gonna stick with the Astros here. I do like John Means, and I think that it'll be interesting to see if he's going to be a contributor for the Orioles in this playoff rotation or in the bullpen. But the problem for Means here is that it's only his second start back as a lefty going up against an Astros team that's hit lefties well all year long. Verlander, yeah, he struggled in a couple of his recent starts, but it's Justin Verlander. He's always capable of struggling, then coming out in the next inning, throwing a complete game shutout or something like that. So I think that the Astros come out, get the job done here. The Orioles, I think, they clinched their playoff spot yesterday. Maybe they're a little bit hungover after that, having traveled to Texas and take on Houston. Yeah, not the easiest task. Going to go with the Astros here.
Rondell Moore or Jerry Jeudy?
Rondell Moore.
How about Michael Pittman or Jerry
Michael
Jeudy?
Pittman.
Jerry Jeudy.
Over Pittman?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Michael Pittman.
I don't know about that.
Michael Pittman twice on Sunday.
Man, Pittman ain't really done nothing.
I think he's been pretty good.
He was good last week.
He was good in this game.
I didn't watch a lot of Colts Texans.
I did. That was on the big screen. Colts
I
Texans.
didn't watch a lot. I ain't watch a lot of that. Was your big play, so of course. But me, nah.
How about Justin Jefferson or Jerry Jeudy?
Jerry Jeudy.
Now that one.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I feel about Jettis.
How about DK Metcalf or Jerry Jeudy?
I would probably take all three receivers in Seattle. Metcalf, Lockett, and Jackson.
I mean, it's amazing how low on the chart, right, that Jerry Jeudy has slipped. Because I said he's not even top 15, but we got him at like 45 to 50, right? Now, this other channel that competes with us had him as their top sleeper pick for offensive MVP of the AFC this year. I mean, I don't even have his top 50 at receiver, let alone quarterback or running backs, included as in the grand scheme of top 100 players in the AFC. I don't think he hits the chart. I like both Seattle. I like Seattle 3 deep at running back over him, and their tight end Noah Fant. I'd rather also have than Jerry Jeudy.
Okay, here's the real question.
Oh man,
Jerry Jeudy or Cole Strange, the lineman that caught that lateral last night.
Well, if Strange would have got the first down, I probably would have taken him. But
He did. I'll die on that hill that he got the first down.
He did not get the first
He
down.
got the first down.
The initial
and
look.
Even if he didn't, there wasn't enough there.
There was enough there.
Nah.
They wouldn't overturn it if there wasn't enough there. DeAndre Hopkins at this point in his career or Jerry Jeudy?
I'm still taking Hop.
What about, oh, here's a guy. How about Terry McLaurin or Jerry Jeudy?
Oh, Scary Terry.
Terry.
What about Curtis Samuel?
Curtis Samuel.
I mean, Jerry Jeudy is about the 70th best wide receiver in the NFL here.
And there's only 65.
And well, really. I mean,
Brandon Ayuk or Jerry Jeudy?
Ayuk. We've gone through almost every team, and almost every team has at least 2 wide receivers. Some have 3. Very few teams where he even makes the roster, except for the Panthers.
DJ Moore or Jerry Jeudy?
DJ.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, tight end, or Jerry Jeudy?
Kyle Pitts. Damn.
Yeah. With all this being said, maybe he's just on the wrong team. Jamel Williams shaking his head. I think he's sick of the bit. He's had enough. I love it. I like it. Odell Beckham Jr., Jerry Jeudy.
Odell.
Everybody's better than somebody. Yeah, but we didn't pick Jerry Jeudy as one of the top to win the AFC MVP award either. I got to find that soundbite and show it on here of this jerk from this other station. I mean, and he's like the most arrogant of arrogant guys too. Like one of those super arrogant guys on here. Padres against the Rockies. Michael Waka. Who's up?
Shit, Jerry Jeudy, the third receiver on his own team right now.
And that's because Hamler retired.
That's crazy. Is this one me?
Yes.
I'm taking Waka and the Padres. I'll let the run line. It's just hard for me to – when I see the Rockies at home, I legitimately think about taking them. But on the road, this is probably a series the Padres sweep. And I don't say those words very often. I just don't see the Rockies doing much of anything on the road. Give me the Padres behind the Waka today, the run line.
I'm going to take Rockies run line. They've actually covered 7 in a row on the run line in Dog versus National League West. Chris?
Yeah, I struggled with this one. I'm going to lean towards the Padres, but I'm not rushing to bet this thing. Padres run line, I just think Waka's the better starter here. He struggled in a couple of his recent starts, but more often than not, he's been pretty good this season. It's just about if the Padres offense backs him up, and I think they do here. So I'll take the Padres, but again, not betting this thing.
Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy?
Oh, my Lord.
Sutton yesterday, 5 receptions, 66 yards. His longest, 21. Jerry Jeudy, 3 receptions, 25 yards, 5 targets. Mitch, Kadarius Toney, or Jerry Jeudy?
Tony.
Last week you wanted Tony cut.
Yep. Well, he came back.
The times change, people change.
Oh, man.
Up next. Oh, here's a gem. We got the A's against the Mariners. I'm up. Woo. Who?
Who?
Woo. Woohoo.
Who?
Woo.
Ooh.
Taking the A's in this one. 4-0 is dogs versus the American League West. The Mariners are just, the wheels are off the cart. Taking the A's. Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the A's as well. I know you take a big step down from the Dodgers to the A's in this series, but the Mariners were struggling a lot well before that, and yeah, I'm just not as big on Brian Wu here. So give me the Oakland A's here.
I'm taking my guy, Mister Woo. Who? Woo. And I'm gonna just take him straight up on the money line. It's not even a bad price. It's come down -170. The Mariners have kicked the crap out of the A's all year. The season series is 9-1. Mariners, they don't lose to the A's. I do like JP. JP and Blackburn have been my two guys to target when I see in Oakland, but I just think these games mean too much to Seattle, and I like Brian Wu. I'm taking the Mariners today. I think they get it done on the road. Who? Woo.
I can see the A's taking that thing. All right. We're winding down. We made it. Dodgers and the Tigers. I took the Tigers in the video. I got ripped, man. I mean, I've been getting ripped for this one. Jay, what do you think?
I'm taking the Tigers.
They're gonna rip you.
Eduardo
Rodriguez.
They're playing well. They just swept the Angels. School. I like these Tigers, man. I like.
The problem is we get sucked into the Tigers every year. They close really well.
Yeah.
They look young, exciting, and then they're terrible.
Yep. But hey, the good thing is we're at the end of the year. It's a great time to get sucked in. I like the plus money price today. I think they got their best starting option, Eduardo, and getting them at this plus money price, I think, is a great opportunity. I know the Dodgers are red hot. They just dismantled the Mariners, but this could be the Monday Ronnie Egg meltdown. I'm gonna take the Tigers.
I'm on the Tigers too. I already gave it out in the video, and I'm not backing down from these YouTube harassers.
Eduardo.
Chris, Jay got the. Listen to this. Listen how lame the trolls got last night. Jay looks tired. Guy with the teary eyes, laughing, the rolling laughing. It's like, boy, that's funny. That was a really good one. It's like, we get up at 5 a.m., do like 10 live shows, half times, like all week long. I do, like 100 live shows and videos. Like, wow, by Sunday night, wow, Jay looks tired. Oh, boy, it's like, you guys going to have to do better than that. It's like, seriously, man. Even the trolls I'm disappointed in. I like the trolls that don't think I know who they are, like when they change their names and stuff. It's like, I know who you are, man. Same thing with the emails, They have like a million emails. Like,
It's like the trolls. It's like the trolls always used to tell us, "Do better." It's like we tell the trolls now, "Do better." For this last one, I'm gonna go with the over 8. I lean towards the Tigers for the value, but I just think there's a bunch of runs in this game. Lance Lynn is really starting to slide after a hot start to his Dodgers tenure, and I think the Tigers will get a few off him here, but Eduardo Rodriguez struggled, I believe, in his last start against the Dodgers. And I think that the Dodgers get to him here as well for a few. So I'm going to go with the over 8. I think this is at least like a 5-4 kind of game, if not higher.
Eduardo Rodriguez. What'd you take, Chris?
The over.
Over. Eduardo and over.
Go up.
Los Serpientes.
Man, we can lose some of these guys soon, man. That's sad. I have to retire some of these bits for a good bit.
Bite your tongue. They will never retire.
I can't wait to get back to fading House of Disappointment. Can't wait to be making money on my Thunder buddies. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. My comments to be flooded with Mavs money line. Oh, it'll be here. You finna feel that though, Chris. You finna feel it real soon. Daily.
What?
With your NHL.
Oh, I'm used to it at this point. When you get called some of the names I've got called already.
Edward.
I've been called much worse by a lot better. So
Parlay time. Oh, man, I suffered my worst parlay loss of the weekend of my career this past weekend, thanks to Tennessee. Um, I had an 8 leg parlay, man. All 7 were green. Last leg was Tennessee money line down the drain.
oh, what college?
Yeah, Saturday. Got to be in it to win it. You know what I mean? Got to be in it to win it.
When Hershey squirts Mertz, it's taking you out. You know it's in the you're in a bad spot. So
Yeah.
all right, my parlay here. We'll go with the under in Carolina, New Orleans. Go with the Cincinnati Reds and the over in the Braves and Phillies. Really like that.
Run. Yeah, them Gators got it done. The Gators got it done. My parlay, let's go with Eduardo.
Eduardo.
The Tigers. I'm gonna take let's take the Mariners,
Who?
and woo,
Who?
woo. Last leg, we're gonna go take not Bryce Harper, but Bryce Young in the Carolina Panthers. Money line. I like that
Well,
little 3.
both Monday Night Football unders. The over in the Astros, Orioles, and the Braves against Zach Wheeler. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. A little bit of a short show here, only an hour and a half. Took us 38 minutes before we even gave out a pick, which is always a nice touch. Thanks, everyone. We appreciate y'all. We'll have picks again tomorrow. Just baseball tomorrow. So tomorrow and Wednesday, just baseball. Thursday, college football, NFL football. Friday, 4 college football games. Saturday, Miami Temple matchup, and Sunday NFL football. Probably the worst NFL football card you've ever seen. So we'll have to see what I haven't looked at the lines, but the card itself just stinks to high heaven. Got the Cardinals, Cowboys. I mean, it is bad.
Peace.
I'm gonna try and act more professional tomorrow.
Scuba.
Would you rather have Marvin Harrison Jr. or Jerry Jeudy?
Marvin Harris.